Hello student, welcome to the digital classes. This video is for class 6, chapter number 4, heat. In this chapter I already discussed about heat, temperature, different type of thermometers, what are the precautions for clinical and laboratory thermometer. Now in this video I am going to tell you about transfer of heat. Now, transfer of heat. You all know that heat is a form of energy, and energy cannot be created nor destroyed. The transfer of heat by conduction, convection, and radiation. Three types of heat transfer. First is conduction, convection, and radiation. In this video, I am going to discuss about conduction and convection. Before I discuss conduction, convection, first I tell you what is thermal energy. The total kinetic energy of the particle that makes up an object. The more kinetic energy an object has, the more thermal energy in it. Thermal energy also deals with the number of particles that are found in an object. The faster the particles are moving, the hotter the object become. Now, conduction. The movement of heat from one molecule to another is called conduction. Now, I am going to explain conduction with the help of an activity number 3 which is given in your book. Check in the book also. To show the heat transferred through solid such as metals by conduction. Material required: a thin metallic strip of rod, nail, wax, iron stand. Procedure: take a long thin metallic strip or rod, fix a few nails on this strip at equal gaps with the help of wax. Clamp this strip or rod to a stand as shown in the figure in the book alongside. Now place a burner below the free end of the strip or rod. Note down the order in which the nails begins to drop. The nail nearest to the flame drop first, then the next, and finally the nail farthest from the flame. This happens because as the heat travels gradually from hot end to the cold end of the metallic strip, the wax melts and the nail fall down. Now see in the above picture, the heat is transferred from one end to the another end. So the conduction is the process by which heat is transmitted through a medium from one particle to another. The transfer of thermal energy between neighboring molecules in a substance due to temperature gradient. It always takes place from a region of the higher temperature to a region of lower temperature and acts to equalize the temperature differences. It can take place in all form of matter, that is solid, liquid and gases, but does not require any bulk motion of matter. In solid, it is due to the transfer of vibrational energy between the molecules. In gases, it is due to the collision of the molecule during their random motion. Conduction is a transfer of heat by the means of molecule agitation within a material without any motion of the material as whole. If one end of the metal rod is at a higher temperature, then energy will be transferred down the rod towards the cooler end, because the higher speed particle will collide with the slower one with a net transfer of energy to the slower one. It means, now I explain the conduction in solid. In solid, the constant particles are very closely packed. They can only vibrate about their mean position. When one end of the metallic strip or rod is heated, The particles at the end absorb energy and start vibrating more rapidly. These rapidly vibrating particles collide with the neighboring and transfer a part of heat energy to them. As a result, the particle also start vibrating more rapidly and in turn cause their neighboring to vibrate more rapidly. This process continue until the last particle also start vibrating more rapidly. Thus the heat is transferred from the particle to particle through the whole length of the strip. When the heat is transferred from one end to the cold end, the whole object become hot and expand, means solid expand on heating. So solid expand on heating is called thermal expansion. Condition for the conduction of heat. Heat transferred from an object to another take place only under the following two conditions. The two objects should be in a direct contact. Second, the two objects should be at a different temperature. Now I am going to tell you about good and poor conductor of heat and insulator, means good conductor of heat and insulator. Solid are the best conductor of heat, then liquid and gas. So solid particles are closely packed. Thus the kinetic energy is transferred more quickly in solid. All solid do not allow heat to pass through them. When an equal else, some allow heat to pass through them faster than other, whereas some do not allow the passage to heat pass through them. Now, what are conductors of heat? The material which allow heat to flow through them easily are called good conductor of heat. All metals and their alloys are good conductor of heat. Example: silver, copper, aluminium, iron, brass, stainless steel, etc. are the good conductor of heat. It means material which conduct heat are called good conductor of heat. Now application of conductor. Uses of good conductor. Used where heat has to be quickly transmitted. For example, frying pan, kettle, cooking utensils, etc. Usually mode of metal like aluminium, copper, iron are used to make utensils for heating. The materials which do not allow heat to flow through them easily are called poor conductor of heat or insulator. For example, water, air, gas are the poor conductor of heat. Material which do not allow heat to flow through them are called non-conductor of heat or insulator. Materials such as wood, paper, glass, asbestos, bakelite, etc. are the example of non-conductor. Now see the example of good conductor and good insulator or bad conductor are. Good conductors are brass, copper, mercury, aluminium, iron, gold, etc. Good insulator or bad conductors are wood, foam, cotton, air, water, plastic, etc. You see, the kitchen utensils which are used for cooking are normally made up of metals, but their handles are made up of plastic or other material which do not allow the heat to pass through it, so we are easily able to hold hot utensil. Law of heat conduction, also called Fourier's law, it states that the time rate of heat transfer through the material is proportionate to the negative gradient in the temperature and to the area at right angle to the gradient through which the heat is flowing. The law of heat of conduction is invented by Joseph Fourier. I just want to show this scientist only. Now uses the good conductor and non-conductor of heat together. Like in a saucer pen has a handle of non-conducting material which its body is made up of good conductor of heat. Non-conductor of heat are used for making handles of the cooking utensils so that even the hot utensils can be lifted safely. Insulators such as bakelite, ebonite, dry wood, etc. are used for making handles of electric iron or cookwares. Now there is one question in the book. How do woolen clothes keeps us warm during winter? Wool fiber is porous. It has air trapped inside the pores. Air is a non-conductor of heat. It does not allow the body's heat to escape or go out to the surrounding. As a result, woolen keeps us warm during winter. This is an important question. So you have to learn this very carefully. Now convection. When liquids and gases are heated, the heat is carried from one part to another by the actual movement of the hot particles. This movement of particles due to the temperature difference between parts of the same substance is called convection. Now the activity number 6 which is in the book, and I want you all check this activity in book also to show the liquid transfer heat by convection. Material required: round bottomed flask, cold water, potassium permanganate. Procedure: gently place a small crystal of potassium permanganate into a round bottomed flask containing cold water. Heat the water near the crystal when a small Bunsen burner flame. Observe the movement of the purple color solution. The purple color solution rise from the place of heating, moves a bit away, and then move down to the bottom of the beaker. Conclusion: this experiment shows that in liquid, heat is carried from one part to another by actual movement of particles, that is by convection. Now, what is convection? Heat transfer in which the heat is carried from hotter part of the substance to its colder part by the actual movement of the hot particles in it is called convection. Only liquid and gases transfer heat by convection. Solids cannot transfer heat by convection because in solids the constant particles cannot leave their position. Now there is a question arise: why does water in the flask move in this fashion? Water near the bottom of the flask get heated first. Warm water is lighter than the surrounding cold water, so it rise up. The colder water from the surrounding move down, get heated and rise up. This process continue until the entire liquid attain a uniform temperature. This cyclic movement of the water during heating is called convection current. Air too is not a good conductor of heat. Being a gas, it can flow and spread fast and transfer heat by convection. Now the convection movement of the molecules within a liquids. In reality, this is a combination of diffusion and bulk motion of the molecule because it occurs at microscopic level, therefore confined to gas and liquid. Molecules in fluids are further apart and have negative coherence force. Convection current are set up much faster in gas than in liquid because of the extremely low coherence force, means the attraction between the molecules existing between the molecules of the gas. Convection can be neutral convection and forced convection. This is the points or conclusion on convection. Convection is the heat transfer by mass motion of a fluid such as air or water when the heated fluid is caused to move away from the source of heat carrying energy with it. Convection above a hot surface occur because hot air expands become less dense and rise. Hot water is likewise less dense than cold water and rise, causing convection current which transport energy. Convection can also lead to circulation in a liquid as the heating of a pot of water over a flame. Heated water expand and become more buoyant. Cooler, more dense water near the surface depend and pattern of the circulation can be formed. Now the factor affecting thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity in material depends upon following factor: the temperature difference between the end of the conductor, the length of the conductor, the cross section area of the conductor, and the last, nature of the material. Means heat can be transferred through these following steps. Why are metals good thermal conductor? There are delocalized electrons, free electrons in metal. These free electrons can move freely throughout the metals. When heated, these free electrons gain kinetic energy and move from the hotter end to the colder end, carrying energy with them. This process is much faster than conduction by the vibration of the molecules. We will study more in the higher class about these thermal energy or thermal conduction of metal. Now thermal conductivity in solid. If you stir hot tea using a metal spoon, you will observe that the handle of the spoon become warm. Solid that are good conductor of heat. Metals use both atom vibrate and free electrons to conduct heat, while liquid are poor conductors of heat. This is because there are large intermolecular distance between liquid molecules or its molecules. These are also fewer and rare. Collision between the molecules means their molecules are not collide very frequently. Electrolytes, example, salt solution are better conductor of heat than pure liquid because of an increased compactness of the particles. Thermal conductivity in gases. Gases are worse conductor of heat because of a large intermolecular distance between them. Type of convection. Natural convection. Natural convection occur whenever heat flows between a solid and a liquid or between fluid layers. As a result of heat exchange, change in the density of effective fluid layer taken place, which causes upward flow of the heat fluid. If this motion is associated with heat transfer mechanism only, then it is called a natural convection. Now, forced convection, mixing of hot and cold part of the liquid through some external steering like a fan or pump. This motion is associated by mechanical means such as pumps, gravity or fan. The movement of fluid is enforced, and in this case when then speak of forced convection. See now, this is the example of convection. During the day, the sun heats the land and much faster than sea. The air above the land is heated, expands and rise. Cold air from the sea move inland to take its place. Hence, sea breeze is obtained. So this is an example of convection. First is sea breeze. Now the second. Land lose heat faster than the sea. Hot air above the sea, which is less dense, expand and rise. Cold air from the land moves towards the sea. Convection current is formed. Land breeze is obtained. This is called land breeze. And this is again the example of convection. I will explain more example in the next video on convection. I hope everyone would understand what I taught in this video.